start with our news points for today, and we will start with our stories. Adebinke, shall we begin with you?
Okay. UK did not endorse Yoruba Nation petition. That's from the federal government. The federal government has dismissed the reports claiming that the United Kingdom endorsed a petition submitted by Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho. The petition, which called on the UK government to consider the creation of a Yoruba Nation, was submitted at 10 Downing Street, London, last week. A statement yesterday, the spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Eche Abobe, described media reports surrounding the petition as highly misleading. Abobe clarified that the UK had no official involvement or endorsement of the document. He explained that following media reports on the petition submitted at number 10 Downing Street by Mr. Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Igboho, the British High Commissioner in Abuja, was invited to shed light on the issue. Yes, I'll stop there. The British High Commissioner in Abuja, Montgomery, I've forgotten his first name, has said that it is not their business. Nigeria is not UK. Their sovereign affairs doesn't concern them. They only received the letter. Does not mean it was endorsed. I don't even know what Sunday Igboho was thinking, and he's the chief agitator. Can't remember that was me now.
They wrote to the UK because they were our colonial masters.
To now do what?
You get it, Joy. You get it.
I mean, but colonial.
Yes, now.
Do they still have a say?
I mean, you know, sometimes you just want to exhibit your ignorance further by doing certain things. Because when he went there on Sunday and I saw, I only wish people can also realize that Downing Street, number 10 Downing Street, is an administrative building. It is an office, though residential, but all letters, all correspondences will be collected there. And of course, they decide what to do with those letters. If they feel that your letter warrants to be dumped at the security gate, they will leave it there. And if I mean, we just knew that it was an exercise in futility. I think Sunday Igboho just wanted relevance. He got a photo ops with the security guy who received the letter, and that was it.
And the leader of the Yoruba Nation is supposed to be
which Yoruba Nation?
Of their Yoruba Nation, in quotes, is supposed to be a professor, and you know. I don't know whether
it's
they couldn't advise.
It's a personal interest.
Themselves.
I mean, so, and I like the fact that this is, you know, declared. The fact, it was just a letter that was written, and it was addressed to 10 Downing Street. And of course, they had the obligation to receive the letter. How would you want something to be done in your country?
You're writing to
and you're writing to the UK government. In what capacity?
UK government that will come here.
I don't get it. You're asking for a Yoruba Nation.
You left Senate here, House of Reps.
And then you took a flight
to London.
To
and you say Nigerians don't have money.
He's on holiday. When he's back in the country, he will face reality.
He went on an excursion.
You know, some things are just left.
He's on holiday.
Some things are just left like the comedy that they really are, honestly, because I really do not even understand what that was all about. But it's good that it's been cleared. There is no endorsement whatsoever for that letter. It was a letter that was written, it was collected.
Was received, yes. That okay, we received,
yes,
like any other correspondence.
It will be treated however they want to treat it. Yes. So let's take the next story. The next story this morning, FG plans cash transfer for 20 million poor Nigerians. I am also poor. And the story is...
People think she's also poor.
Yes.
Yes, no.
I'm rolling my eyes. My eyes will almost fall out of my socket.
Please, if there's any updates that we're doing,
where are we going to drop our
please
account
let's
numbers?
drop our names. I am also poor. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, has said that the increase in Nigeria's revenue recorded in the 2024 fiscal year is being strategically allocated to various social intervention programs aimed at improving the living standards of citizens and addressing pressing societal needs. The minister said the social investment program is targeted to impact 60% of the poorest, reaching 20 million persons. He also revealed a comprehensive proposed agenda for economic reform, which aims to reduce inflation, create jobs, and stimulate growth in key sectors of the economy. At his October 1, 2024 address, President Bola Tinubu announced that the government revenue for the first half of 2024, representing January to June, stood at over 9.1 trillion naira, more than double the 4.06 trillion naira generated in the same period in 2023. Of course, the minister was speaking at a panel session titled Fiscal Reforms for a More Secure Future during the 30th Nigeria Economic Summit in Abuja yesterday. Let me quickly read here. Maybe that will also give context. The minister said, and I quote, "We have applied technology in a way that essentially reforms the civil service." No, that's not where I actually... Okay. The social investment program is spearheaded by direct transfers to reach 60% poorest in the population. And right now, 20 million households are being supported directly, and it's going to rise to, well, 20 million people, 4 million households so far, and it will rise to 15 million households who will be paid directly by the government. This is how President Tinubu's government is spending the money which has been yielded from better production. End of quote. We need to know those 15 million households that will translate to 20 million people that will be receiving this cash transfer. Which database are we using? Is it the database that suspended Betta Edu's ministry collated? Because I really do not... You know, sometimes when we talk about trust, when we talk about, you know, being bare and letting the people know exactly how we're doing, this is one of it. You're saying that some people have received. Can we trace? Do we know them? What is the yardstick? By what criteria are they poor?
I was about to ask, how do you identify
which
poor person?
account did the monies go into? Is it via their BVN? Did you pull them by their name? What is the criteria that was used to choose the poorest of the poor? Were they chosen state by state or local government by local government? If you take a tabulation or a poll of people that needs money in LTV, I don't know. So we need to be clear on this. Government needs to be more open. You can't just give a blanket. 20 million people. Where are the 20 million people? How are they doing this?
I just have a problem with our government always dipping their hands in money anyhow and saying that this money is from better oil production. 20 million poor people.
Poorest of the poor.
You know, we don't have middle class. We said it yesterday.
Either you're up
and I'm down there.
or you're
I'm
down.
a poor person.
Are you the poor? Are you poor of the poorest?
I'm poor of
now
the poorest.
No, so now
I am poor of the
but
poorest.
do you know something? Do you know what
poorest.
something? I mean, this is something that government is now
poorest of the
saying
poor.
to us. So it's either you're rich, you're poor, or you're poorest of the poor. So there's a third class now. The poorest of the poor.
I'm in that category of poorest of the poorest. I just don't like the fact that we are always doling out money. I don't like it.
And we can't see.
Yes,
what
it
this
doesn't
money is
show
used for.
accountability. It doesn't show transparency, because you have said you have laid out some conditions now that look, how do they measure the poorest of the poorest? What database are they using? It is what they tell us that we would take.
All right. These are questions that, of course, we will still try as much as possible to get answers to. Joy, let's take your story.
Here in Lagos, excitement as Sanwo-Olu launches Red rail line commercial operation.
It's only in Lagos you get good news.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on Tuesday kicked off commercial operations on the red rail line. The train will run from Oyingbo to Agbado, a border community to Ogun State. It is expected to convey 500,000 passengers daily. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who was the chief operator for the inaugural ride, announced that the full ride will take about 1 hour, 7 minutes, with a 3-minute stop at each of Yaba, Mushin, Oshodi, Ikeja, Agege, and Iju stations before arriving at the Agbado station. The ride started at 5:20 p.m. with the first stopover at Yaba lasting 7 minutes and stopped for 3 minutes for passengers to alight. From Yaba, the train stopped at Mushin, Oshodi and arrived Ikeja at 5:55 p.m. From Ikeja, it moved to Agege and Iju stations before it ended at Agbado at 6:27 p.m. Governor Sanwo-Olu urged Lagosians to keep the train safe and clean by not vandalizing it. The people have quoting him, the people have the responsibility to keep it safe and clean. The train is for the people, so they should avoid vandalizing it. This cannot be emphasized enough. You know, we have one issue here, maintenance culture. This infrastructure has been made available for you. I mean, a lot of people will be relieved, especially those coming from that axis, by Ogun State people coming to Lagos.
The train ride will cost 1,500
And I
naira
hear some people
from
already
Oyingbo
complaining.
to Agbado.
Yeah, some
And
are already
it's-
saying it's too expensive.
It's too expensive.
And I really, if I don't know if
No, you said Oyingbo. The train
To-
ride will cost 1,500 from Oyingbo to Agbado.
That's what I'm
Iju
saying.
to Agege cost 500 naira.
okay, so a trip to from Oyingbo,
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
can serialize it. So, but then of course you need to get your carry cards because you're not allowed to pay cash on the train. So please get your carry card and load your carry cards. And let's see how this will go. We need to own this project. This is not the time for you to sit on the train and put your legs like you're in your living room. or sit in a manner that, or you need to also respect other people's privacy on that train. It is everyone's facility, so let's ensure that when you're on the train, you're very civil.
On a
the
lighter
train.
note, yesterday, did you see the governor with his
Megaphone.
calling
And his tie.
I'm not the one that called him conductor.
Yesterday
It was Gawato. It was Gawato.
Yesterday it was the chief. It was the chief. It was the chief. What do they call those guys on the? It was the chief checker. Yes, it was the chief checker.
It was the chief
on the
checker.
train. And for those of you who think you can cut corners, you don't want them to grab you. If you think you will carry your carry card and you will not load it, it will not open for you when you get to the train station and you want to move out to. Just in case you think you can bypass, you will be stuck there. You know, Nigerians, we always have a head and you always think of what to do. But let's all make this work and ensure that Lagos is working. Let's be part of the change process here in Lagos. Okay, let's move to X this morning. I don't think he's already chuckling. This one, I'm going to keep quiet, it is their discussion. So yes,
Our discussion.
you know, because this guy, I don't like his creepy nature.
I don't like him.
So yesterday, a court in Ikeja ruled against a VDM, the very dark man, Emmanuel. Is that his first name? Ose. Did I get his first name right?
Ose.
I know his surname is Ose.
Ose.
And that he should pull down all defamatory videos on the Falanos and also be fined 500 million naira. And of course, I saw where he was to respond, and all he did was, okay. I don't know where we will go from here. But again, this is trending. And while you find some people for the fact that VDM cannot be a law unto himself, others are saying, why is it VDM that the court as fined. But of course, it is VDM that the Falanas have taken to court. So they asked for a ruling.
They are asking why VDM. Who else?
I don't know.
Take to court?
I mean, so we also must begin to learn to weigh in on conversations within context. So this particular case was instituted against VDM by the Falanas. Leave Bobrisky's case, so that one is another one entirely. That's another case entirely. This is another case, and this case has been heard and judgment passed. So let's see if VDM will pay that money, or if he will also appeal.
You see him
He might appeal. He might appeal, but my concern is, will this keep him quiet?
I don't see that happening.
Will he ever keep short?
Because a lot of people also do things and they tag him. And so they expect that he is now the new social crusader who will fight their battles, or who has the big mouth to mega shout their stories. So I'm not sure he will keep quiet, but perhaps this will also make him also garner his own arsenal very well, so that when he's coming to talk, he has his proof that are overwhelming, and nobody will say they were doctored in these days of AI.
Do you know initially when he started? I don't like his personality, but I liked what he was doing. He was calling out all those fake
So has that changed?
product sellers.
Has that changed?
Those women, those ladies selling cream up and down. You know, he started.
He's
he started
channeling
well.
his energy into something more
But
productive.
now
This one is
Which
giving.
bar? Over.
This one is bringing money. This one is a
And you
better
know,
channel.
just this morning, or was it last night, another woman, you know, another lady tagged him that EFCC had arrested her
That's what I'm
husband
saying. So they keep
unlawfully,
tagging him.
and they make him feel as if, what did you call him now? Social
Crusader.
Social crusader.
Social crusader. In Yoruba parlance, is Agbekoya, Adekoya.
All right. And that's trending on the X platform this morning. And trust Nigerians to weigh in different ways. Even Regina Askia, who's been very quiet for years, who's in the US, also spoke on this yesterday. You can catch up all of the trends.
This one is quiet now.
Who?
After Burna Boy dealt with him. Speak Darlington.
Speed Darlington. That one is another case entirely. Because I beg.
We have them.
Plenty. Plenty.
Who is quiet? Right?
Okay, let's take a quick break. When we return, we will quickly gloss over today's column before we bring in our guest for the first conversation. And of course it is written by the editorial board, and it is titled Revival of National Value System Must Be Holistic. Now, of course, it is rather a long read, but at the beginning of the write-up, it says an idea to boost moral values in the country. The proposal by the federal government to set up a national citizens value brigade across primary and secondary schools in Nigeria appears exciting. The plan is overdue, coming at a time that immorality, weird behavior, and patently evil conduct have permeated daily discourse and cut down ethical standards. According to its plan, the government hopes to strengthen the national value system in primary and secondary schools with a view to curbing all manner of misbehavior and acts that are not in tune with the traditions and norms in the country. And of course, like the write-up did point out, it is a good initiative by the federal government to start from the primary and secondary schools by bringing back values, and inculcating those values in the students. But the write-up was quick to point out that action does speak louder than words, meaning, and they asked a question, are the leaders ready for what it takes to achieve the goal? meaning that as a government, as laudable as this initiative is, are you also leading by example? What are some of the values that the leaders are also exhibiting that the younger generation are picking up? Meaning that if you'd like to catch them young and rebuild in those children the value system, you must also ensure that you live a life that, you can live by example, and also teach the children what you'd like for them to emulate, and not teaching them one thing but you also doing other thing. The write-up did say that the truth is that the country's value system has collapsed. The narrative should go beyond strengthening to rebuilding. So what are we strengthening at the moment? Rather than strengthening, it is better to rebuild. The value system is totally gone. And now this is my personal opinion, I'm just going to add that as much as government is trying to rebuild the value system, can we also start from the home front? What are we teaching our children? What kind of values are we leaving those children with? Do your children wake up in the morning and cannot kneel or prostrate in the morning to say good morning, sir, or ekaro, sir, or ekaroma in the homes? If they cannot do it to you, the parent, excuse me, they're going to walk past me anywhere they see me and not bat an eyelid by greeting, because from the home front, it has not been instilled. So must we wait for the schools to help us achieve our responsibilities as parents and caregivers? As much as government is going to try to do this, let us also do this before the government, so at least government can build on the standards that parents, caregivers, guardians have instilled in their children. So the write-up is there. You can pick up the Guardian newspaper today to take a further read on this particular article. I tell you, it is a fantastic read. We'll take a quick break. When we return, the conversation returns. Our first guest will be here this morning. And today, again, we're focusing on Nigeria's political institutions. Again, we keep talking about the need to strengthen our institutions. How do we strengthen these institutions if we do not even know some of these institutions? That conversation comes up shortly.